62,000 GitHub stars in less than 7 days. PewDiePie just shipped an AI tool and he called it his $1 trillion project. He opened it with one line: "The war on big tech has just begun." So here's my one-line take before we start today's episode. The hype is moving way faster than any actual moat. Hey guys, and welcome back to the Gen Z EO Playbook Podcast. I'm Ryan Ali, and today we're breaking down Odysseus, PewDiePie's free self-hosted AI workspace. Not the headline version, but the version that actually matters if you're trying to build something. And I'm not gonna come at this as the guy who looks at and hates everything, but I'm 16 and I run my entire stack on tools like this, so I want it to be real. But to be honest, I've watched this exact movie before, about 4 months back, with a bit of a different scenario, but the overall same script. So here are 3 things we're gonna cover in today's episode. Number 1, what actually happened? Like a 60-second rap version. 2, why does this look super identical to the OpenClaw hype cycle right before the reality showed up? And number 3, the one test you should run on Odysseus and on your own startup idea this week. Alright, so now let's talk about the context, like what actually happened. This year, on May 31st, Felix Jelberg, or more known as PewDiePie, dropped a video titled "My $1 trillion Project is finally out." The project is called Odysseus. It's a self-hosted AI workspace. It's open source, MIT licensed, completely free. So instead of talking to ChatGPT or Claude using on company servers, you would basically run the entire thing on your own hardware. So your chats will stay on your machine, your files will stay on your machine, and there would be no telemetry, no subscription, and no data being shipped off to a lab. But it's not only a chat box, it also has autonomous agents, deep research, email and calendar, and also persistent memory, all while running on your own machine. You can also plug in local models like Ollama or llama.cpp, or even connect to your own API key if you'd like. The pitch overall is super clean. Own your AI stack from top to bottom. Now I want to dive into the numbers. In the first 48 hours, Odysseus pulled more than 30,000 GitHub stars. And by the end of this first week, it was past 60K. That's a number a lot of venture capital backed startups have never hit even after a full year. And PewDiePie has roughly the largest individual audience on the entire internet, so it kinda traveled instantly. The framing landed too, with privacy first and no Trojan, yours and yours forever. He's basically saying that the big labs treat your data as the product, and you don't have to accept that. That part, honestly, he's not really wrong about the problem, but the question is whether this is the solution everyone has been asking for. Alright, I want to dive into the real story now. I want to talk about the things the headlines are skipping. So, 4 months back, we ran this exact experiment already. It was called OpenClaw. So, I want to go back 4 months. An open source AI agent shows up, and it's built by Peter Steinberg. It's self-hosted, runs on your machine, reads your files, runs commands, manages your calendar, and basically lives inside the apps you use on the daily. Sounds familiar? That hype was nuclear. OpenClaw hit something like 180,000 GitHub stars in less than 3 months, which was one of the most starred repos in the history of the platform. Andres Karpathy called the ecosystem around it the most sci-fi thing he'd ever seen. TechCrunch ran a piece with a blunt headline. After all the hype, a lot of AI experts didn't think OpenClaw was that exciting. Someone online summed it up perfectly. It's basically a chat wrapper, but for Claude. Now, I want you to sit with that for a moment, and I want you to look at Odysseus through the exact same lens. What's the borrowed part? The intelligence. You're still running someone else's model, local open source weights, or an API into a big lab. What is actually PewDiePie's? The interface, the integrations, the privacy stance, and the distribution. And here's the uncomfortable part nobody's putting in their thumbnails. It's 1 week old, and reviewers are already flagging that the agent's command tool runs with no sandbox, meaning you're handing a self-evolving AI access to your machine. The project's own setup docs literally say to treat it like an admin console and to not expose it to the open internet. So this isn't free and safe forever. It's free, early, powerful, and you now become the security team. So why exactly does this matter for us Gen Z EO founders? Well, you might be thinking, okay, cool, I wasn't really planning to build a PewDiePie competitor anyways. But this isn't just about Odysseus. It's about the pattern you're going to be facing on every single idea you have moving forward. So these are 3 reasons why you need to change how you think about building this week. First, distribution can fake a moat. Odysseus didn't get 60,000 stars because the code is unbeatable. It got them because the most watched creator on earth pointed right at it. If you're a founder, that's the lesson and the trap. A huge launch number tells you about the reach, but it tells you absolutely nothing about the retention. Ask how many of those stars are still using the product after 90 days. Second, open source and free is a strategy, but it's not a personality. Free killed the subscription objection instantly, and it was smart, but free is also why the wrapper has no pricing power when the lab ships the same thing natively. You own it is a pitch, but it's not a moat. The moat is why the user trusts you with it. And third, the borrowed engine problem is going to hit your idea as well. Most of you guys are building on top of someone else's model. And that's okay, like we're in the era right now to do that, but you have to be honest about which part is actually yours. If the magic in your demo is just the model being good, then the model getting better helps your competitor exactly as much as it helps you. The founders who win this cycle aren't the ones with the loudest launch, they're the ones who can answer, in one sentence, what they own that their competitor can't copy next Tuesday. Steal these moves, the wrapper test. Run this on Odysseus, and then I want you to run it on your own startup. Just same 3 questions. Number 1, find the borrowed engine. I want you to strip the branding in the launch video. What is the actual intelligence? And who really owns it? If the answer is a frontier model, that capability is rented. It's not truly yours. 2, name the moat that isn't the model. I want you to write one sentence. Even if the model were free and identical for everyone, people would still choose us because... And then your reason can be distribution, trust, data ownership, a workflow nobody else is able to steal. But if you're unable to fill in that blank, then you don't have a company yet, you just have a great feature. And 3, run the lab catch test. Ask out loud, what happens to us the day a big lab ships this for free? If your answer is, we're cooked, then your edge is a countdown, not a moat. And you should be using your head start to build a thing in step 2 right now. That's it. 3 questions. It takes less than 10 minutes and it saves you a year of building a steering wheel for someone else's engine. So where exactly does Odysseus land in the Gen Z EO Playbook podcast? Well, I wouldn't consider it a scam, but neither a revolution. As a case study, it's a reminder that the privacy problem is real. The model underneath is borrowed, and the record-breaking launch number is just a starting point, not a finish. So the playbook for us to steal is simple. Respect the problem that PewDiePie is still pointing at, which is your data is the product right now. Question the hype number before you copy the playbook behind it. And on everything you build, make sure to run the wrapper test before you fall in love with your own demo. So here's the honest version. The most hyped tool of the year so far turned out to be a wrapper, and the next one is probably one too. But your job isn't to dunk on that. It's to make sure you're not building one by accident. Make sure to drop a comment with one AI tool you think is riding pure hype right now, and one product that you think completely owns the moat. So if this changed how you look at a product you're about to copy, subscribe to the Gen Z EO Playbook podcast on YouTube and wherever else you listen. It's free and helps out a ton. Once again, I'm Ryan Ellie. This is the Gen Z EO Playbook podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode.